will be damned if I was not thinking that we're about to get another amateur win once again. Welcome back to the Dash Rapture, Graver, Smacks, and Rafa. C9 truly playing towards the ultimate scaling composition, Smacks, and you were right. As long as they had an inhibitor, well, a Nexus up, they're not out of this game.
Even through the Hextech Soul. That's all they needed. And yeah, the composition is very straightforward. It really only does one single thing, but it does that one thing really, really well. And you know what that one thing is? It
What's
is
that?
secure Neela a 100% global win rate. Good job, King.
Actually, you're right, yeah, because according to statistics, this is the first ever Neela game in Rafa. We get to see it play out in action, but it was slow beginnings for C9.
As Max said, they were playing towards the scaling advantages. It didn't mean that Cloud9 were ever going to back down from throwing it down once they felt confident in taking the fights, which, you know, the first time they actually opt in for a multi-man skirmish was almost, what, 15 minutes into the game, which was, you know, super long. But we finally get these long extended trades where even when Cloud9 are not fully powered up and aligned, you know, this is where Fear are trying to take advantage, and it's really off of Trickster. Like Trickster taking advantage of the massive amounts of burst that Fear have to offer, and then getting resets.
Yeah, Trickster was kind of 1v9 this game, if I'm being completely honest with you. He was playing these team fights really, really well, finding resets effectively on his own, because the fights were so scattered. As you can see right here, we find Blaze, he's sort of just in this 1v2 position, and Trickster, he's with the rest of the team, but he's just trying to find all these resets here. Somehow, they actually keep managing to work, and I'm just so amazed at how well Trickster is turning it on in this game. They're able to take that Hextech Soul off of it. It's just that this last team fight just barely doesn't quite go the same exact way. Trickster does get a few of these resets, but yeah, just can't quite keep it going. The scaling just barely catches up to him, and you know, it's kind of just inevitable with this draft.
I think the other thing, too, for the way that Cloud9 were able to play some of these fights, they recognized how to better keep Copy and King protected and setting up better choke points where Cloud9 had the freedom to move in and out of the fight, whereas Fear, it's like, if we funnel in, we're funneling into a bunch of AoE Victor damage, and that's just not good for us. And so they tried to keep things localized, and Cloud9 started to respect the range advantages that they had in certain localized locations.
And currently, where we stand right now, Fear, although they look fantastic, and with some really solid carry performances as well that we had from their side too, C9 continue to scale, mental kept being strong, and we're gonna head right in to a second Chang Select and possibly the final one of the day. So Smacks, Rafa, let's get it.
Oh my god.
Look at his smug grin.
This guy. This man did not just drop.
Are you on a Gen G shirt?
LCK, bro. LCK. Boom.
Kind of nice. Okay.
I got this when I was in Busan for Worlds 2018.
You know what? You gotta represent Cubby as he's made his LCK debut.
I know. See,
night,
like
so.
I was supporting him on the night that he first had his LCK broadcast, and I hear that Cubby's going to be on LCK again either this week. I don't know if it's tomorrow or 2 days from now. So
nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay up in solidarity with him as he's doing double duty.
You know what? Proving grounds, it's not just for the players, it's for the casters as well. And Cubby is certainly proving his worth over there in Korea. Big shout out to him. I love that guy. Been working with him for a long time. And
Challenges Uprising, baby. 2020.
Yeah. Cubby has earned it. I'm glad for him, and I will continue supporting him on that stream while I am asleep. I'll be dreaming of Cubby. I am not adjusting my sleep schedule to do that. At Cloud9 Academy, see that Yomi's banned away, and they don't go for the Neela first pick this time around, instead denying Trickster's Viego away from him.
They flexed the Neela, said, you know what, we're ready to rock the Apotheosis. That's one. Once again. But they say, as you called it out, hey Trickster, you were looking a little too fly on that Viego, and we need to shut you down. We need you to stop that.
Real quick, someone in the Twitch chat got mad at me for telling you that it was pronounced apotheosis instead of whatever you said, and I just want to tell that chatter, I just want to tell that chatter, no, you're wrong, because then Rafa wouldn't know how to say it, and now he does know how to say it, and now he can say it a bunch of times. So, just want to point that out there. Now there's Draven and Lee Sin for Cincinnati Fear. Very, very aggressive in the early game. And, I mean, we already saw Draven 100% win rate on this stream, at least today, with a couple of wins from Wixie. Get to see if another amateur AD carry can do the same thing.
And I think it's just cool to see Sketch flexing different hats, right? For already, a mage like Karthus is definitely a far cry from playing something like Draven of all champions. This is going from being someone that is, hey, you're focused on laning, obviously, but you're scaling up and you need to make sure you're putting a lot of pressure on King and Destiny. But you're also keeping tabs of global pressure with your ultimates, whereas now playing Draven, mechanically intensive, axe management is a huge thing, and now you're going into a lot of crowd control from this Ashe Misfortune bottom lane.
A lot of poke as well. This is a lot of poke, and a lot at range too. A range that is longer than what Draven can really accomplish as well. I already touched on the fact that I think Misfortune is the strongest AD carry in the game right now on this patch. I think with Ashe as well, it just completely compounds all of that into an unstoppable force of champions. The only way that you can defeat these guys is if you can somehow get them out of position with a hook, like a blitzcrank or something, or you fully engage on them, no holds barred, before they poke you down, both of which are very difficult to do considering how bot lane just works in general. You have a lot of moments where you can poke people down with Ashe Misfortune.
You know, it's so funny to me that we now have the Misfortune Ashe bottom lane. If we went back to 2016 and we took, for example, Rox Tigers, the inventors of Misfortune support, and paired it alongside Praise Ashe, if you like showed them this, they would be like, wait, they're in the wrong spot. They're like, nope, no, they're not. this is how it is now. Misfortune's the AD carry, Ashe is the support now.
Maybe they were just wrong when they did it. Maybe it should have been the other way around the entire time, Rafa. We'll never know.
Well, the items back then played out differently. So Imperial
you didn't have to say all that. You could have just let me be right without telling anyone that I was wrong. Okay?
I mean, I didn't want you to bash my boys on Rox Tigers. That was
you know what? That's fair. They deserve all the hype. As you know what else deserves a lot of hype? Is Pyke. Pyke has been a champion that's been popping up a lot in amateur. If you watch the finals between Taco Gaming and 100 Thieves Next, you'll know that. Because Rovex is a smurf on the Pyke, and it looks like that's been rubbing off onto other players as well, as Plex going to be showing to us today. Again, very, very aggressive composition from Cincinnati Fear. They are fully bought into the fact that Cloud9 Academy, they might have some scaling, but we're going to show them. We're going to show them in the first 15 minutes of the game that we can kill them.
All in power. Draven and Pyke. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Taco Gaming ran this exact bot lane setup as well between Gorka and Rovex. So this seems to be the rage now. You know, you are just looking to put things as volatile as possible. And if you're in the amateur team on the side of the matchup, I mean, I completely am down with this look. But look how Cincinnati Fear are doubling down, tripling down on the terms of early aggression and just volatility across the board. Aatrox's probably the only one that has a little bit of leeway when it comes to laning phase and is more of a mid-game champion, relying on that Eclipse power spike. But I mean, my goodness, when you talk about early game plays, Lee Sin, LeBlanc, Draven, Pyke, and Cloud9 Academy are going to have to find ways to endure that pressure.
If Cincinnati Fear think that their early game is better than Cloud9 Academy's, then this draft makes a lot of sense. They feel confident in that aspect of the game, and they know that they can win a game through that, as shown by a lot of their victories in the past for Cincinnati Fear. That's what they're going to put on display for us against Cloud9 Academy. And I keep saying terms like that, like put on display, like show for us today, because that's really what this tournament is all about for the amateur teams. Yes, we did just watch an amateur team beat an academy team, but generally speaking, you know, I have a lot of faith in the amateur side of things, but academy teams should be stronger overall. And what the Proving Grounds is going to be all about for amateur players and amateur teams is showing what they are good at, what they bring to a team, and why you should possibly scout them to your team in the future. And that is what Cincinnati Fear is doing for us today. They might not win this series, but we are going to get a good look as to what is going on in the early game for them.
And it gives us an opportunity to celebrate maybe not always a team if they're the ones that are not able to perform and deliver wins, even in the face of academy teams, but there are individuals that will make standout performances despite the loss, that academy teams will look back next split, think, you know what, it's off-season time, you know, some of my players are getting promoted, I'm letting go some players, what can I really do to, like, who's the next prospect that I want to bring into academy? And these are the amateur teams. I mean, most of these players, like Copy, were once amateur prospects, right? Started out on 100 Thieves Next 2 years ago, moves up, goes to Scouting Grounds, and then gets signed to Cloud9, and now they're starting mid laner for the past 2 years. But now that we see Cincinnati Fear making early moves, making use of the early pressure that they have, an aggressive invade, I want to see where Trickster is now going to chain this pathing into, because you have a lot of flexibility in where to go as Lee Sin.
Looks like he's going bot lane to me, as they've already forced the flash out of King.
They're gonna get it down to Destiny as well. Oh, Trickster can really line this up. Oh, so close. But Destiny Flash comes out a little sooner than Trickster was expecting, but now it's 2 summoner spells, or 2 members with summoner spells down. Only heal is the last one that remains for King, but Destiny has to recall because he's way too low.
All right, I was getting really nervous there for Cincinnati Fear as to what they were going to do with this red buff invade, because there are a lot of instances where you go for that and you put yourself in a really bad position because you are forced to leash your jungler against a double range lane, and then you get poked out. But by bringing Trickster over to them, it risks his entire pathing, because now he's just barely on his second camp and Trickster's already level 3, but he is actually able to help out this lane quite a lot. And we get to see that in effect.
Wait a minute, but Shaden's still level 3 because Trickster is still only level 2, having taken only 2 camps, as you already called it out. So Trickster doesn't have access to the slow from the crippling strike, and he has to respect that, even though Shaden had the opportunity to just cross map and say, all right, King, Destiny, good luck, guys. You know, I'm getting ahead while Trickster is spending a lot of time on the bottom side. He invests the resources to make sure that King and Destiny are protected from sketch and blocks.
That's the big backfire here for Cincinnati Fear. It seems like they may have stuck around just a little too long, because now Trickster very behind in his own clear. Shaden, he's got nothing to do right now. And if I'm a jungler that has nothing to do, I am saying, hey, support mid, can we do something? I know all of those camps are up on the top side of the map. I know that we can go clear them. If you guys have priority, I would greatly appreciate it.
And look
Shaden,
at that.
I'm sure he's saying that.
Yeah, I mean, Destiny's already moving out in rotation. And the fact that Shaden is the one that recognizes the advantage that he could have had and says, no, I need to protect the bot lane first, is already a mark of the growth that he has had within the academy scene. Because you have to remember, this is Shaden's first ever competitive split, not just academy, but just playing in 5s, even in amateur. This is his first official team, and it's just on an academy squad, straight from solo queue. And normally the solo queue impulsive is like, Lamau, good luck bot lane. You know, that sucks. I'm gonna go get camps on the top side of the map. He totally had the opportunity to, but he went and made sure that his bot lane was kept safely. Oh, but this early look though from Trickster and Blaze. Once again, they link up and are able to find first blood on a Copy.
Man, Copy is just getting ruthlessly bullied in this series against Cincinnati Fear. He cannot catch a break. He flashes and dies in one single gank. Very, very well played there by Blaze to land the root even after the flash had already come through. Very difficult to do in many, many situations, but Copy does fall victim to it, and Trickster has all of this damage to land underneath that turret. And look at this, Rafa. Because Shaden doesn't actually go for his topside camps, Trickster now actually can take them for himself and stay afloat in this Lee Sin game.
Thanking his lucky stars here. Now Plux and Sketch want to go for the all-in on the King. Oh, the heal is already popped, and it's a trade 1-for-1, but Sketch gets the cash in, and that is what is most important for the Draven lane.
Yeah. It's important for that, for sure, but you know what else is important is King dies, so he doesn't get any of these minions underneath this turret. Now Sketch, this might be too much.
Greedy. Oh,
He's
then the
taking the
exhaust
bait.
comes out. Oh, does he want to flash forward? Yes, he does. He says, if I'm going to go down, I'm going to take another kill with me instead.
Destiny
And-
gets it too.
And Destiny is the one that picks up the kill. Shaden not even getting a assist goal off of the back of it. Oh, baby. Sketch. He is living to the limits.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason that if you play Draven, you have to just turn on that alpha mode. You gotta just go with the flow. You gotta go in all the time. That's exactly
right.
what Sketch does. Puffs up his chest, flexes his muscles, gets in the dive solo afterwards, and finds a double kill for himself. That's beautiful stuff. Nicely done there for Sketch, even denying the kill to Shaden.
That's one of the times where it's okay to run it down. Because if you're gonna die, you might as well get a kill out of it, you know? And you know,
Yeah,
Sketch
true.
showing this is how you run it down in style. And also making sure that you're coming out positive on the trait. Now, Fear making do with the pressure they have towards the bottom side of the map. Trickster doesn't want to start up the dragon quite yet, but setting up the pieces to make sure that they have the vision control necessary to make sure it's safe. As Darshan, oh my goodness, he still didn't get to leave lane because Blaze made the roam all the way towards the top side of the map. A flash was expended. Looks like he traded it out with Darshan as well.
Don't think that Blaze wants to stick around. Looks like he will actually take a recall. I think Cloud9 might have gotten mixed up by the clone there, because Shaden did kind of walk right past. But regardless, Blaze gets to get out alive, teleport back to his own lane, and Darshan, he actually gets to survive, even after being put very, very low. Maybe I spoke too soon.
Oh,
Okay.
Darshan finds himself against Dragoon, but Darshan still has the body slam and is able to disengage from the Infernal Chain.
Yeah.
Are we staying in lane? Oh, I don't know if this is greedy or not.
I mean, Darshan has more healing than Dragoon, funny enough, with the Gragas passive. As long as he has mana, then he can stay in lane forever. Unfortunately, he's going for the tank build, and he did not pick up a tier of the Goddess for himself, so that might prove to be an issue. Yeah, he's going to take a recall right now. Anyway, top side, you know, it's top lane. Top lane doesn't matter. Let's talk about bot lane again. Sketch has so much more gold than King right now. If we could look at the gold real quick, I'm sure you could see it's at least 1,000 up, because Sketch, he's got 35 CS up, gonna be even more. He already got a couple of kills. He's making his way towards his mythic item, and he's setting up his jungler to go and take the dragon as well. Good guy, Sketch.
Yeah, this is the first dragon of the game for Fear on their side as well.
8-minute eclipse.
Oh.
All right, that's pretty good.
Oh, man. Dude, like, King hasn't even gotten a chance to finish, like, a secondary component item. Like, it's just
Yeah.
triple longsword and then tier. Oh, my goodness. Sketch is so scary at this point of the game for Cloud9. And I imagine as Cincinnati Fear, your job now is to, wherever you want to make plays, you are bringing Sketch to the party. He is the VIP, and if you protect this guy in these fights, he will bring you victory. And that's exactly what Fear are doing as they lock up Destiny. A flash comes out, but the Phantom Undertow still finds the sun, and it is Sketch that cashes in on the other side with the Whirling Death.
Not another cash out, Cloud9. Oh no, Sketch. He's so strong in this game. He already had that Eclipse, but now he gets yet another cash out. And they're gonna, they brought their bot lane up at the perfect time too, because they get all these plates in the top lane and another neutral objective in the Rift Herald. Back to back, Trickster is able to take these for his team. Ooh, this is just really, really beneficial timing here for Cincinnati Fear. I love this.
And Cloud9, they normally would want to play for the Rift Herald, which is why they brought their bottom lane to the first place. But Fear, reading that and recognizing that the Rift Herald was going to be the next objective point of contention, when you have someone that is so hilariously accelerated like Sketch at this point in the game, you can control the pace of the map and you can control what happens just by bringing and protecting someone that is so absurdly strong this early on into the game.
This is the kind of early game that Cloud9 is going to remember. They are going to remember that this happened, and even though they've been drafting a lot of scaling, and even though there's a chance that they still win this game, they're going to know just how devastating it was to play against Sketch and Plux on Draven and Pyke, and they'll remember it moving forward into this draft, because this is brutal. Sketch already has an extra sheen. I've been playing a lot with Draven in my lane. Shout out to Alec Batter. I love playing bottom lane with him. He's been going for Essence Reaver first, and that Essence Reaver auto attack, it does like 500 damage at level 7. And Sketch is level 7. So, what I'm saying is, don't get auto attacked by Sketch. You're not gonna like what happens.
Hey guys, don't get hit, please. Don't. If you see Sketch in your lane, in your screen, don't be in the same screen. Just walk away.
Walk away. The other direction, please.
You think that wave is yours? If Sketch shows up, it's no longer yours, brother. I'm sorry.
He's like a sheepdog.
That's right. I mean, like, Sketch is halfway to completing his second item. King hasn't even finished the first one yet. Like, this is so terrifying. It is almost a 3,000 gold lead off of the back of this Draven being absurdly ahead. He's 2,000 gold up on King.
Yeah. That'll happen when you get 3 cash outs, Rafa. Draven's pretty good at that. He likes getting gold. And Pyke does too. Although, that's without Death from Below gold. Because Plux is level 5. He doesn't even have it yet. That's how you know that Sketch is putting in the work for this game. Is they're looking for another set of plates. Rift Herald is applied. More gold for the Draven. Also, I want to point out, I appreciate the VIP joke because he's playing the VIP Draven skin. I think that's very funny.
Yeah, you got it. You know, TFT. Oh, Trickster still pressing forward. Kick flash right onto Darshan, but he's a tank, so he's going to be a little hard to take down, and Shaden is lying in the wait, ready to punish. Does not get the last blow onto Trickster, but Darshan showing why he's the president, is stuffing all the damage from Cincinnati Fear. Blaze comes in looking for the cleanup, but Copy has answered back with a Realm Warp of his own. Looking for damage, look onto Plux. But he has to flash away. Had to respect Sketch's own damage as Copy was almost taken out.
You can see just how scared Cloud9 is playing around this Draven, and I can't blame him. I would too. Sketch, so threatening with every single auto that he pours in. Cloud9 tried desperately to bring member after member after member over here, but they just can't do anything about it.
But Copy, is he in trouble? No. Okay. Tier 2 boots versus Trickster's Tier 1 boots is not going to get caught up and run down. But Cloud9 still have to worry about this Draven smacks, and for them, I imagine that it is now Darshan that is put on answering the Draven in the side lanes, because we saw that even though Sketch is absurdly far ahead, the early investment of armor and the health from Darshan makes him very difficult to take down.
The Warden's Mail is going to help out quite a bit. I assume he's going to go for plated steel caps too. I don't really see a reason not to in this game. There's a lot of physical damage on the other team, which does make me happy as a LeBlanc player myself. I'm sure Blaze is going to have fun with that one. He is going for Ludens also. I like dealing damage on LeBlanc, and I'm maybe throwing shade at another player who played earlier today. I'm sorry.
Well, Cincinnati Fear are revving up their engines here. Starting up the second dragon. No one is going to contest from Cloud9 Academy. This puts Cincinnati Fear once again 2 dragons away from Soul Point. And like we saw last game, they got Soul. And it's another Hextech Soul smacks. Or Portal Gaming again.
I like Portal Gaming.
I do too.
I won't get baited this time, I promise. I will not think that it is Mountain Soul. I do not think it's Mountain. I do not think it's Mountain. I do not think it's Mountain. All
there
right,
you go.
We're good. Yeah, so the Draven gold funnel has sort of stalled out just briefly. As I said in the draft, 15 minutes of game time is really the play zone for Cincinnati Fear. They can do anything that they could possibly think of in the first 15 minutes. We are very close to it not being 15 minutes anymore. And then past that, Cloud9 can actually go for a lot of their own plays. They actually will have some more item spikes. They will hit their first items. They'll have their gold and their ultimates, which is the big thing, to find picks. They have really, really good pick ultimates. They have Ashe ult, and they have Gragas to follow up on that as well. Unless it misses, I suppose. Then it's not quite so good.
Sketch is too fast, Max. He sidestepped that one.
Clean.
It happens sometimes. You know, Sketch is going to have to put on his blue suede shoes for the rest of the game and make sure that he is dodging out on all of the skill shots in the crowd control. Because, you know, like you said, the only crowd control that is guaranteed is a flash or a empowered route from Copy, and he can flash to extend the appropriate range of his engage, or effective range of his engage. But still, apart from that, Sketch is like, as long as he's got the movement speed, he can dodge out on potentially any of C9's pick tools here, and that's going to be a problem if Cloud9 cannot find the proper lockdown.
Cloud9 and lockdown, something that we will have to consider in this one. They will also need to play against the cleanse cooldown. So that's another thing Sketch has at his disposal. Thinking ahead, perhaps. We've hit 16 minutes. I said that Cloud9 could start playing. You know, I might regret that, as the lead is pretty big for Cincinnati Fear, and I don't think they've really got it covered onto how they're killing Sketch. He's got 2 items. I don't think they were expecting that to happen. 3 kills is a bit too much to handle. So Rift Herald's going to go over to Cincinnati Fear. They've taken both early Rift Heralds, both early Dragons. Very different from the last game, where Shaden actually was able to sneak some of those away, and no, not this time. Cincinnati Fear, with their 5 early game champions, have taken all 4.
Trickster really wants to lock down this early portion of the game. A flash already burned from King, and it is the death from below. Cincinnati Fear all inning onto King, burning both of his summoner spells and even getting the kill on top of it. More pressure over towards the side of Cincinnati Fear.
That was a really, really well-coordinated crowd control chain from Trickster and Plux, because Trickster used his kick away from him. King would have actually made it underneath the turret had Plux not been aware of what was going on and popped the death from below without King even having the opportunity to dodge, because he was mid-air from the Dragon's Rage. I really like that coordination. It's something that you have to practice and practice and practice, because I know you and me, Rafa, as support jungle, we'll sometimes just completely whiff on stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to completely expose us. We are not the best when it comes to coordinating ultimates like that, but Trickster and Plux seem to be.
Yeah. There's times where we think that the other has already gotten enough damage to kill off or finish off an opponent. I'll be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna walk away. And you'll be like, what? Just kill this guy. Just take it. I don't care. Please. And then it happens on the flip side as well. You'll leave me thinking that I have enough and you don't want to kill steal. I'm like, no, please, dude. I'm playing Jarvan. Dude, I don't have that much damage at this point of the game.
If anyone ever gets footage of us playing Diana Yasuo and that one ARAM, I think our careers are over.
Oh,
I don't think we can come back from that. That was a rough game.
No. Wait. Good arrow from Destiny. Copy. Can he get enough damage? And it is locked down sitting around now between the Empowered Root and the Everfrost, but that is a lot of healing from Dragoon. Ooh. So he calls in reinforcements for Destiny, but the Whirling can... Whoa. That was so close for Copy, and Dragoon, if he had been quick, he might have thought about just flashing in for one more Darkened Blade proc and picking up the kill on the Copy.
If the second bit of the Draven ultimate landed, it would have executed him. Based on the stacks that he has. He's got 63 of them, as you can see in the bottom left of your screen right now. Would have been enough damage. So Copy is very, very thankful that the second bit did not hit him. Not quite so thankful, however, that his bottom lane turret is about to be removed from the game. Rift Herald is here, the second one that was taken earlier by Trickster. And Rafa, Cincinnati Fear are getting a lot of gold off of this Rift.
Yeah, this is a huge gold lead. This is even bigger than the gold lead than we saw in the first game, because even though that Cloud9 had a scaling composition on their side, Cincinnati Fear never amounted a lead bigger than 4,000 for the entire game. We are now approaching 6,000 as an entire gold advantage. One dragon away from Soul for Cincinnati Fear. This is an even more precarious spot for Cloud9, and they don't have the ultimate late game fail-safe win con this time around. They actually have to find ways to figure out how to lock down Sketch, how to shut him down.
Wow. All right. Plux is so threatening in this game. He forces the flash out of Destiny. This is... You can again see how scared Cloud9 are in this game. They know just how powerful the opponents are. And just like you said, Rafa, there's not that same safety blanket that they have at their disposal. They're up on the tightrope, but they don't have the security knowing that if they fall, they can bounce right back up. They might just fall into a game 3 if they drop.
Flux invading.
Okay,
Oh! Well, Cloud9. Because they have these pick tool smacks, you always have to be careful as Cincinnati Fear to make sure that you have a way to get out if you extend too far forward. And on Vision, Cloud9 take any moment. And now they're looking for more, locking down Blaze. Darshan and Shaden wrapping right on around, but it's the clone. Blaze was able to trick them for a little bit of time, but there's only so much time that he can stall out before he eventually goes down, as the rest of Cloud9 members have the resources to fully chase for him. He's gonna go down, right? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It took a little while. Cincinnati Fear, though, were not in any position to get any sizable leads with that, since Plux was also taken off the map, and with these desync deaths from Fear, Cloud9 is extending the time that they have control of the map.
Oh.
They start up the
Whiffs. There's
Baron.
a teleport here for Cincinnati Fear. Flash on the hook!
Okay, Darshan, he's super tanky, but can he get out alive, though? He still has Flash. Force to flash away now. Plux looking for the resets here. Has Death Rune below, but it's Copy that finds it on the Trickster. And without Trickster, that means Shaden gets the reset, and he becomes the Lee Sin. Looking for more kills onto the backside. Sketch, Plux, and Dragoon pushed away. The Baron is stopped, but Cloud9 start to stifle the acceleration of Fear's lead.
3 kills in a row for Cloud9. They're still at a very large deficit, but this means good things for Cloud9 Academy. You can see what these pick tools are for. That Ashe ultimate, Gragas ultimate combination on top of Plux. Even the slipperiest of champions cannot escape that without some sort of spell shield or cleanse. Plux does not have either of those things, and he will go down every single time that happens to him. And that's going to be true for the rest of the game. Cloud9 have at least that they know for a fact. If they hit a person with their crowd control, they likely will die, especially if it's Plux. Maybe Sketch as well, depending on how well they can use that Gragas ultimate after the cleanse is popped. I like that that's there for Cloud9. It's still a very tricky game, though, and they really need to make sure that they can use those tools effectively to not give over the second soul in a row.
And because the next dragon is coming up in less than 2 minutes, that means both Sketch and Plux are going to be down summoner spells here. And the cleanse still available for Sketch, but no flash for either of these two laners. So that does mean that Cloud9 have win conditions to play for. They know that this Draven has to respect the range. And, you know, props to Sketch for recognizing it as well with this third purchase on the rapid fire cannon, because he is... We made a joke about it earlier, Max, but he is the VIP for a reason.
Yep.
He is the one that can always turn the tide of the battle against Cloud9.
Fortunately, they don't have Debonair LeBlanc. Otherwise, it'd be just too fitting, you know, the synergy there.
True.
I'd love that personally. I don't even know if she was in that set. I don't think she was for the VIP thing. But regardless, Sketch, he is that VIP. They pulled him off of that shop, shopping for Evil Genius's Prodigy's players at the start of the split. They got him, and he's effectively a 2-star Draven at this point. Maybe he can get to a 3-star Draven eventually, or he might just fall off. We'll find out.
For Sketch, though, for him and Plux to have surmounted this lead in the first place, I think it's a great way for Sketch to look back on this game. As Plux, the Crystal Enchanted Arrow finds its mark true, as you called it out before. You alluded to it. No cleanse available to the Pike support, even if you're super slippery. And oh no, Sketch finds that he has no friends, has been caught off by a Realm Warp from Copy, and that advantage is now down the drain. Cloud9 Academy have dealt with the two biggest and scariest members from Cincinnati Fear in one fell swoop, and they get to take the dragon off the back end.
Big denial here for Cloud9 Academy. This might be that turning point. We saw the turning point on the Baron fight in game number 1, where Cloud9 found control, they found confidence, and they found victory. This very well could be it as well. That is a huge, devastating loss. They lose half of their Draven cash out, a couple of kills, and they don't get the soul for at least 5 more minutes. They lose a lot more on this map as well. They don't have enough time to get any more resources. Rafa, this might be the end.
Now, Cloud9 still have a 3,000 gold lead to work through, and while Sketch has been decelerated, he's still strong. But the pick tools that are coming in for Cloud9 are becoming harder and harder to deal with. And The front line that is available for Cloud9 is becoming tougher and tougher as well.
That's the big thing. The champion diff is starting to catch up to Cincinnati Fear at this stage of the game. Who is killing Gragas? I really don't have a good answer to that, Rafa. I'm wondering if you do.
Nope. Well, Cincinnati Fear, if they have this flank though, Darshan's already half HP, but he just body slams on over the wall, gets himself out, and Copy answers back against Blaze, almost annihilating his health bar completely. Blaze has teleport available, so he can always teleport right on back, but he is forced out of the fight for now.
Lux, he needs people to get lower than this so we can actually start getting the resets off with the death from below. Nobody is even close to that one. Ash ultimate's not up, so he can actually clear wards this time, luckily for him. They're getting closer and closer to Cloud9, just completely stonewalling their opponents right now. Oh boy.
Copy looking for Dragoon on the backside. Trickster. Darshan is separated, forced to flash, body slam away, and the death from below! That's the question. That's the answer to your question right there. Take out the Gragas, but Plux trades his life alongside Trickster, and now it's Shaden's party now. He's the VIP. He takes over Sketch with the Heartbreakers. He looks for resets once again in this fight, and Cloud9, despite a tragic death from Darshan, they are able to surmount it more, but Blaze is pushing on the top side of the map, getting some split push pressure down.
Did they kill Gragas?
I mean, they got him once.
What did it cost?
Well, everything.
There it is. That's the meme. Nicely done there, Rafa. Yeah, Cincinnati Fear, they may have killed the tank the one time with the death from below. They just don't have enough in the tank to really close it out after that. As you can see, Sketch, he does actually acknowledge this is an issue. He goes for the Lord Dominic's regards, so he actually does have some meaningful damage against Gragas. But as we're about to watch this one more time, they commit so much to get just the one kill. And there's really not a whole lot that they can do after this. Actually, Copy does go down to the 1v1. I didn't even see that, but the rest of the squad, yeah, completely falls to the wayside. Another sweet ultimate from Destiny. That cooldown's very, very low on the Enchanted Crystal Arrow.
As the terrifying thing about Ashe at this point in the game, you get enough ability haste, you can just start firing Crystal Enchanted Arrows off repeat. But Fear are throwing the Hail Mary. They are burning down this Baron ASAP. A teleport is coming in from Darshan, and the rest of Cincinnati Fear already know that they can no longer take the fight. It pulls Cloud9 though, and now Plux on the hunt. Chris Enchanted Arrow lands on the Dragoon. Can they get damage down effectively? But Plux is the one that is silenced out, almost getting rooted. Bullet time does not find its mark, but it gets enough damage down on the Dragoon, and now Shaden traded out onto the backside. Good kick from Trickster, propels Darshan right through the backline. Can they find the damage? But Sketch steps up looking for his heroic moment, but it's Cloud9 that silenced him. Blaze, is he burning down to Corrupted Potion? Doesn't go down quite yet. Darshan now the one on the hunt, but the rest of the Cloud9 Academy, they've done enough damage to keep Fear off of the Baron.
Oh, man. Cincinnati Fear, you can feel the desperation start to sit in now. Cloud9, they were the one... Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
He's got distortion. Oh, the Crimson Enchanted Arrow all the way from downtown. Meanwhile, Trickster and Plux are able to find Destiny en route, trade out 1-for-1, but that is a mid laner down at the cost of a support, and we are 44 seconds away from the Dragon.
Oh, man. Rafa, do you know, are you a Doctor Who fan?
I've watched a couple seasons.
Okay, there's an episode where, I believe in Matt Smith's season, one of his seasons, there's an alien that copies what you do, and eventually by copying you enough times, it takes your soul and becomes
I think I remember this one.
You remember this one?
Yeah.
This is kind of the feeling that I'm getting in this game, because Cincinnati Fear, they're like the humans, you know, they're putting the fear into this being, and Cloud9's kind of just like quaking in fear, but Cloud9 slowly creeping up on them, and now they are the ones instilling fear in Cincinnati right now, as they have all of this scaling online, and they're the ones starting up the Dragon.
Fear looking for an advantageous angle, but Blaze gets rooted up, and it's turned right back on its head. Copy.
Whoa.
Beautiful pinpoint accuracy with the damage and the lockdown on that empowered root. Blaze and Plux already biting the dust on the side, and Smacks, I think you led up to it. Cloud9 Academy The early game was super terrifying from Fear. The Sketch, Draven, and Plux Pike are no joke when it comes to the first 20 minutes of the game, but it's hard to carry a lead like that out for the rest of the game, and Cloud9 Academy showing superior positioning and just being able to come through when it matters most.
Some good looks from Cloud9 Academy as they will likely close out the game from here. A couple of Drakes to their name. And again, they deny the soul from Cincinnati Fear. They already denied that Baron from before. And they just feel so resilient. I don't think the Cincinnati Fear has enough in the tank to take down any of these members on the side of Cloud9. The pick tools, the cooldown on these pick tools is starting to get so low that they can use them just so flippantly like this.
Just like that. Field goal on that one, though. Destiny is not able to lock down Plux and Trickster. Good sidesteps from them. Darshan also looking for the explosive cast. Doesn't find anyone on the back end. Fear now note that Cloud9 are down for a moment to ultimate pick tools. But, as you noted, the ability haste on both of those characters make it so that they're going to come right back up in just a minute.
Yep. Destiny is already 3/4 of the way done. And in a couple of seconds, Enchanted Crystal Arrow will be back. It's not even level 16 yet. And it's up.
Are they going to fire another one? Maybe. In the choke point, yes they will! And it lands right onto Sketch into the backline. Can they get there? A teleport is coming in from Blaze, but the damage is already being done from Cloud9. They've already taken out Plux, and Sketch has to keep his distance. Looking for one, finds one on a copy onto the back end, and now it's up to Dragoon to buy space, but an explosive cast keeps Sketch out of the fight, preventing him from being able to get onto King and capitalize onto Shaden. Plays, looking for a distortion in a chain onto Shaden onto the backline. Darshan has to now peel for 3 members because they're all in danger of getting taken out by Sketch. Dragoon, Trickster, and Blaze. Cloud9 find themselves on the back foot. Sketch is still walking forward. Blaze chasing on the left side of the flank. It's going to come down to how well, but the Crystal Jetted Arrow comes out once again. A quick distortion, but it's still not quick enough. Blaze was not expecting the ultimate to be back up so soon, and Shaden takes over the LeBlanc, and they turn things around on its head once again.
The ultimate ability haste is so broken on Ashe as Cloud9 Academy, they're stacking up for this Baron. Plux is in position. If people can get low, he might start to get some ult resets.
Yeah,
can he get over this
I don't know if you actually want to do this fight yet. You pulled Cincinnati Fear, but now you have to tap. Oh! Don't listen to me, Spec. Don't listen to us. Cloud9 Academy knows what they're doing. They bait out Fear to come forward so they can pull them in for another Enchanted Crystal Arrow.
Hold on.
Oh, is it going to find it? Oh, Cloud9, this is super close. Do you want to really 50-50 against Trickster? He has Resonating Strike and Smite. Copy is going to be up to him to stall him out. Trickster got the end! And Trickster steals the Baron!
Trickster!
A Dragon Train through the end! Finds Destiny on the back end. It goes down, but Trickster saves the game for Cincinnati.
Ooh, Cloud9, they got a little overzealous with that one. They just gave up the Baron. This is the only possible way that Cincinnati Fear could get back into this one, Rafa, because look at the top left of your screen. The Dragon is going to be alive and overlap with the Baron. That would be soul for Cincinnati Fear if they can push out these lanes and pressure the structures of Cloud9 Academy's base. This could actually, even after 2 denials, still be a Drake soul for Cincinnati.
Oh my god. Cincinnati Fear pulling out all the stops. I thought Cloud9 Academy were making their way towards the last closing moments of the game in the way that they are making their strides of momentum in the last couple of fights. But Trickster saying, no, we still are in this game. Our Nexus is still alive and well. We still have a chance. And Trickster holding on to that chance, on to that hope, alongside the rest of his teammates.
Oh boy. Sketch forced to flash immediately. Not wanting to trifle with that a single bit. Oh, that's a 4K HP Gragas.
Darshan is super tanky, and this time he's got a full health reserve. They propel Dragoon right on back, and there's no real front line for Cincinnati Fear this time. Blaze tries to give his life to look for an assassination attempt, but he's caught out. And he's forced a distortion away. And do Cloud9 Academy have the movement speed? Do they have the cooldowns to lock him down? I mean, Enchanted Crystal Arrow, it's bound to come back up soon, and they don't need it. They have the slow from King. And now they're getting ready. 24 seconds away. Cincinnati Fear, can they find another Hail Mary? Trickster, you found a steal onto the Baron, but can you get in position to find a steal onto the Mountain Soul? It's going to be difficult. Crystal Chanadero, good size up from Sketch. Keeps his distance away from Shaden. I mean, the jungler from Cloud9 Academy is all the way on the left side of the map. Can Trickster look for Dragon, but Copy is guarding it so far, so he can't solo it. It's just 2 to 3 on the top side of the map. Sketch eventually gets run down here. And Trickster finally realizes that Copy is guarding the Dragon.
Man, that Baron steal was so good from Trickster, but Cloud9, they've got their heads on a swivel right now, Rafa. They are not giving in to this pressure even a little bit. They slipped up with the Baron. They can admit that. We can admit that. The chat can admit that. But that's not going to stop them from closing out this game in a very clean fashion. They have all the tools they need still. I think the gold might finally go into their favor in just a little moment here. I don't think it has the entire game. We're close, though.
Maybe a pick onto Darshan. He's incredibly tanky, though. Do they have enough damage? They're burning him down, and the death from below will be the last trick in the coffin. Cincinnati Fear do find a kill and a pick onto the main front line for Cloud9 Academy. And I think they still have Baron buff on their side. It might actually be down. Okay. It's gone on all members. Christian Chanadero, no mark.
Well, no Gragas means they might be able to aggress forward. He's dead for 30 seconds. I think this is the best window that Cincinnati Fear could ask for. I don't know what they do with it is the question.
It's hard to walk up there trying to siege, but without Sketch being able to safely get in range, they cannot knock down any of these turrets here.
Yeah, kind of hard to get in range if we don't have boots. This is something I've noticed. He does have 5 damage items and a stopwatch, however, so it's not like he doesn't do any damage once he does get in range. It's just tricky for him to do so. We'll see if that's going to be an issue. I think Cincinnati Fear have bigger fish to fry, though. They've got this massive problem, which is the Ashe ultimate cooldown. Destiny, again, he's still not level 16, and he doesn't have an Axiom mark or anything. It's just that the ability is broken, and they're going to keep using it on you. So you have to find a way to dodge it or like cleanse it. You QSS. Plex actually does have, so credit to him.
Right. And even Destiny, while he's not necessarily this super strong fighter or marksman, he has a ton of utility. Even outside of the Crystal Enchanted Arrow, you can continuously throw out hawk shots to get vision control, to scout out where the enemy team is, and you can always just throw out peppers of volleys over and over to constantly apply slows.
Love that about Ashe. People playing against Ashe really don't love that about her. She is definitely one of the most annoying champions in the meta right now, but Destiny using that to his advantage at this time. See what that vision entails, because he does have the ward stone as well, so just wards literally all across the map. That item becomes really powerful once you hit level 13, which he already has done, so you now have 2 control wards you can drop at a time, 4 regular wards, and you can store an extra control ward at the same time. Very nice item.
That's a lot of vision spells.
I know. Eyes emoji.
Well, Cloud9 safely establishing all the vision that they need to properly set up for what could be the last Baron of the game. Still a Mountain Soul win or a Hex Tech Soul win condition, not only in Cincinnati Fear's grasp, but also Cloud9 Academy's grasp, since they have picked up the last 3 Hex Take Drakes. So for them, good sidestep from Plux.
Keeps his QSS intact.
Yeah, these arrows are lightning fast too. Like,
I know.
The missile speed is crazy.
Yeah, good ability. But you know, if it was this fast when Rock's Tigers were playing, I don't know if Prey's arrow would have hit.
True. And now Cloud9 have started up the Baron. Darshan holding the fort here, being the only bodyguard here. As he's taken up 50% of his HP from Trickster and Blaze, and they get the catch in. Hold up, Smacks. Is this their moment? That's one shut down onto King. Dragoon pressing forward. Sketch flashing forward as well for Copy, and Shaden and Destiny have to bail. They have to leave their teammates to the side because Fear don't drop a single member in that fight.
Rafa, am I seeing what I think I'm seeing? Cincinnati Fear are taking a 40-minute Baron. The cooldowns on the death timers are really, really long. They are going to actually take a base, and Sketch does buy boots, so he's got a lot of movement speed now. Okay, they could actually end the game right now. They again have Baron that overlaps with the Drake timer, but more importantly, Copy, Darshan, and King are still dead, and they won't be there in time for this Drake. Copy is the last one to spawn. He's the one with teleport, so that matters a lot. He's going to be still late even with the use of that summoner spell. Let's see if Cincinnati Fear can once and for all get this Drake soul. They've whiffed on the last 3 in a row. Shaden.
This pick on the Shaden could be huge. He still has GA, but if he gets caught out, GA is not going to stop you from getting picked off here by Cincinnati Fear. Good flash and Heartbreaker usage. It means that he is staying alive. Plux maintaining the line here, looking for a pick. And it's just to buy time to make sure that Shaden can't get into the pit. Okay, bullet time over the wall. Who did this? Darshan and King combo their ultimates together to steal the Hex Tech soul away from Cincinnati Fear. But can Cloud9 deliver on the fight? That is the question. They're down 2 ultimate spells, but they've caught Cincinnati Fear all astray and all in confusion. They're pulled apart, and the backline is still staying strong. King finally goes down, but Sketch and Plux are now the only members alongside Blaze to keep Cincinnati Fear's hopes alive in the upper bracket.
Oh, it was the perfect setup for Cincinnati Fear. Shaden was in Guardian Angel. Blaze played that so well, but the burst damage onto the... Oh no, Blaze. Oh, that's so sad.
Oh, you know, he just wants to sneak around and just tap it. He just wants to tap it for the super minions.
Man. Cincinnati Fear, a couple of very tilting things just happened to you. And I get it. It doesn't feel good. But we have to see if they can bounce back from this. Because they did, against all odds, win that team fight around the Baron and secure it for themselves, which they do still have for 45 seconds. I still can't believe that they actually managed to do that to begin with.
Yeah.
But, Rafa, they have it in them, clearly. They might be able to do it again.
The fact that Cincinnati Fear are going toe-to-toe with Cloud9 this late into the game is just a mark of their resilience and their mental resolve. I mean, this is really incredible. And it's still only the second game of the series where Cincinnati Fear, if they found a way to come back from this, then we go to a game 3. And if Cloud9 Academy find a way to close this out and it ends up being a 2-0 for Cloud9, just the way that Fear have shown us moments of brilliance cannot be denied. You have to look for these players no matter where the journey takes them.
Yeah. Nice thing is, the journey doesn't even end here because it's double elimination. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Cincinnati Fear is still in this series right now. Crystal Arrow lands on not the target they were hoping for, trying to get the usage of the QSS out of Plux, but he's become wiser in his old age in this game in specific, as it's an old game. Not that Plux is an old man or anything. It's just this Pike in specific.
This
is 43
game feels like it's taken years, Max. We're 43 minutes in.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
If we get an Elder again in this series, I don't know, man. I don't think League of Legends is supposed to last this long. I think it's supposed to be over by now.
You know, Riot made changes on this 12.14 patch to make, lane sustain changes more damning, and it's like, hey, we need more early game fights. We definitely saw that happen. Sketch and Plux making huge strides in that department, but we're still in the late game department. 45 minutes almost. Trickster, gets hit. This could be huge. This could be the pick that Cloud9 Academy need. But Shaden doesn't find enough damage, but Darshan cleans it up. Beautiful explosive cask on the back end, and Shaden gets to repossess Trickster now at the Lee Sin, looking for a way to get back onto the backline. Darshan just holding his ground. Blaze looking for a flank onto the left side. Looks to pop Darshan on the exit, but not enough damage to be able to take out the main tank for Cloud9 Academy.
Oh, man. That kill onto Trickster could be very, very big, because now they can start setting up for this Baron. He's going to be dead for a very long amount of time. Rafa, I think in times like this, it's good to remind everybody that we are watching the game zoomed out like 300%. If you zoom in fully, it gets way, way more intense, and it's really hard to actually know what's going on, and that's how the players are actually playing as Copy.
Go, flash, Copy! Okay, he takes out one, but Sketch eventually trades out. But in a 1v2 situation, ensuring that Cloud9 Academy don't drop a full-on man advantage ensures that Cloud9 are even with Cincinnati Fear, but an optimistic pick from Sketch and Plux. I like the look. You have to throw whatever you can against Cloud9 when you're on the back foot.
Again, Copy is the one with teleport, so he can arrive to the play after he spawns. It's going to be a pretty long while, though, because, again, we are in the super late game. Copy's alive in 30 seconds from now. Arrow.
And there it is. Explosive cast right into the bullet time Dragoon. He has a flash, but it's not enough. He gets taken out by Shaden. And now this is a numbers advantage once again for Cloud9 Academy. Copy is about to spawn in the next 15 seconds. Plux comes up alive as well, but Blaze has to retreat from Darshan. The big man in front leading the charge for Cloud9 Academy. Baron is alive. Trickster, you stole Baron once. Can you do it again for Cincinnati Fear?
Copy is going to be teleporting or using the Hextech portals as well if he would like to get back in another arrow. What a QSS from Sketch.
Captain Jack cleanse from Sketch here, but it's not enough here as another cleanse comes out, but this time it's for real. Sketch goes down, even Shaden finding some kills as the Draven before heartbreaking his way out and potentially breaking the heart of Cincinnati Spheres as their hopes in the upper bracket look to be dashed by Cloud9 Academy through persistence, through mental endurance, and through the utmost resolve. Cincinnati Fear, you guys put up a hell of a fight, but now with only 2 members to all 5, this could be it. Trickster and Plux looking to put on one last show. Dragoon comes back from the dead, but only to delay the inevitable. Cloud9 Academy through thick and skin, man. Cincinnati Fear, they tried, but Cloud9 Academy are the ones that stand tall as they close out this series 2-0.
All right, Cloud9, you made it a long one. 47 minutes into that game, but they kept their mental strong the whole way through. Not a lot of teams can overcome a 3-kill Draven at 10 minutes. The Cloud9 has proved to be one of those teams that can. 2-0 for an Academy squad on this stream, matching that of the other stream as well, where we had a couple of 2-0s for Academy. Still going strong there. And Cincinnati Fear, they're going to have to fight their way through the lower bracket now, but a well-fought set of early games makes me confident that they'll be able to turn some heads there too.
The biggest thing for Cincinnati Fear is just that they took a team like Cloud9 this far ahead. Like, yes, they did not get a game win off of them, but I think everyone is going to remember Sketch's Draven, Plux's Pike, and most definitely Trickster's Lee Sin as well. It's just finding some incredible early game plays, and the Baron Steal on top of it. Yes, it didn't save the game completely, but I mean, it's just there's a lot of things to root for the Cincinnati Fear squad as they now head down to the lower bracket. And for Cloud9, big shout outs to Shaden. I think Shaden, once again, making strides in his improvement and his growth as a player. His rookie split overall in competitive, and we saw how well he adapted to make sure that his team was being protected and being salvaged. As you know, this Draven Pike lane was, you know, quite terrifying to deal with. But we are heading to a break. When we come back, it is Ravish on deck with Cloud9 Academy on the interview desk, so make sure you stay tuned.
I'd say, through a He's a Rakan.
Good answer.
He's a very flashy player. Likes to go in, find creative angles, and I'd say Mitch is getting there with the C9 workouts. He's kind of looking like Rakan, trying to get in shape, you know.
My first thought was Silas, because I think Copy wants to 1v9. Like, he wants to take every ult in the game and try outplay every situation, which I think is like a good thing. So I think he just wants to be a Giga Chad. That's like Copy's like peak form.
Welcome on back, amigos. I got my main man King with me after that absolute slogfest of a game. King, bro, how exhausted are you? Because I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired, honestly. I mean, out of everyone in that game on my team, I think I'm the one that suffered the most. You know, when I was staring at Draven when he was level 6 and I was level 3, I think I aged a few years. But yeah, it was pretty fun.
Bro, I can't even imagine because like both games, man, like it was like back to back. Like if it wasn't you, it was Darshan just getting dogged on by the jungler, bro. That's some serious mental right there that it takes to just be like, it's fine, we'll be fine, we scale.
Yeah.
But I gotta ask about that. Speaking of scaling, though, y'all played Neela. I think you are the first player to play Neela in a professional game. So, firstly, congratulations. Secondly, tell me all about her, considering you debuted her.
The champion, it's sort of like a weird. It's got how do I describe it? This champion, it's like a prior champ, an early game champ. That's like a.
Yep.
It's sort of like a reverse like Yumi, you know, like you make your support really strong. Like
Oh.
I don't think Nyla itself is a strong champ, but you make your support be able to get level 6 first. And I think supports with levels are like they have one of the best kits in the game, right? So generally you want to play like a support that like benefits off levels really well, and I think Yumi is one of those champs, so I think that's the general like strategy behind it. And yeah, I mean, I think Yumi got really, really strong in that game. We got level 6 first, but I don't think we got the Herald. Well, we did, I don't remember. But yeah, we fumbled a few things, but I think we had a very clear game plan with Nyla.
And y'all made it work because the game plan was, I find by the end of it was just stay alive and we'll be fine. We scale,
Yeah.
don't worry, because you guys also had KO too, so it was just waiting for the right fight, which you ended up fighting. And even the second game too, as well. I wanted to ask you about as well. Just by the end of it, was it so that you guys were just looking for arrow after arrow, or was there a specific angle that you were trying to find just so Fear couldn't kill all of you, especially with the Draven?
I think like okay, when you have like a 25-second CD on your arrow, I think everyone's just gonna say like, yeah, just chuck it. Like if it hits them, it hits them. You know. I don't think really any specific. It's just like if Destiny saw like if it looked good, he was just gonna shoot it. And a few times it worked out. Like you can't miss if you shoot 100 times. You know.
That's a fact, bro. Wayne Gretzky says you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and I think Destiny shot every single shot there, man, for sure. But that's actually a great segue too. Talk to me a bit more about you and Destiny's development as well, because you guys have been such a phenomenal duo to watch and see grow. And I would personally say you guys are definitely the best in the academy. But where would you rank yourselves?
I would say we're the best in academy. I feel like. I think we have a few issues like figuring out what we want to play. I think I mean, that's the thing. Like, I feel like if you've watched our like champ pool over the weeks, like some weeks we'll like one champ only. And for example, I had this streak where I played like 6 games Evolution in a row, and then I played like Jinx only, and then before that I was playing Zeri. So like, I think we're pretty flexible. It's just like we're still trying to figure out like what we think our strongest champs are. So yeah, but I do think we're like probably the strongest duo in academy. We'll have to see. I mean, obviously, it's hard to say that after we lost to TL 2 games last week, but I still feel confident against them.
As you should. Now, considering where you're at, though, now you're the best duo, but my man, are you the best ADC sitting in the academy right now?
Yeah, I'd like to say so. Yeah, I feel like
That's
I'm
what we're
most
talking about.
well-rounded.
That's what I'm talking about. It's like to hear the absolute confidence as well. But the question is, you mentioned it's overall champ pool too, which you might have a little bit of trouble with and figuring out what you want to play with him. Are there other things that you're also working on? Maybe not as a duo, but you yourself.
I think we're trying to. I think in general as a player, especially last year, I think it was shown that I like very much prefer like the scaling side or the slower side of matchups in games or in league in general. So yeah, I'm really trying to work on like playing like the faster early game champs, and I still feel like I'm not very good at it. But yeah, I think that's my main focus.
That's okay. That's the growth mindset that we like, and especially like you mentioned, looking between the last split and this split, the growth is definitely evident, and I'm excited to see how you grow. My final question for you as well. I was peeping on your Twitter a little bit. I couldn't help but notice that you were a fellow Berserk fan. Now,
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I adore Berserk, and I was crushed when it possibly ended. I'm so happy it's coming back. I know you are too. So, why do you tell the people? Why don't you tell me, in fact, even who's your favorite villain from Berserk? Because I got my answer.
Villain? I mean,
Yeah.
I think Griffith is like one of the greatest characters in all of manga, or
Yeah.
let alone like fiction, you know. So I mean, Griffith's my favorite character for sure. I think I resonate a lot with his story, you know, after he fell down from
Really?
like the top of his career. So yeah, I see even myself in Griffith, you know.
Okay, that is.
I'm trying to climb back up to get my kingdom, you know.
That's what we like to hear, bro. You had your band of Hawk, but now
Yeah, exactly,
you gotta make
exactly.
sure that you gotta rise to the tippity top without him.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That is beautiful to hear. King, I obviously love that you said that. And I cannot wait to see you and watch you play more games, man. That was amazing. I appreciate you talking to me, and good luck.
Thank you, thank you.
So if y'all don't know, Berserk might be one of the greatest pieces of manga and just anime ever created. And Griffith, the fact that he said it is cool on its own. I'm not going to reveal much, but Griffith is that guy. I'm just saying, what that means is so much more than you know. This is cool.
It sounds like King is that guy from what I
Yeah.
just heard. He's
King
out
is
here
also
saying
that guy.
he's out here saying he's the best AD in Academy. He's the best duo in Academy. Oh man, that's a whole bunch of confidence in the words there for King. Absolutely love that from him. And
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm hoping I get to see him rise back and reclaim his kingdom. Very fitting to his name he chose.
Yeah, and it fits the narrative as well. You know, knowing that he was one of the best marksmen from the OPL, now LCO, from the Oceanic region, coming here to North America to, you know, continue pushing himself in where the pool is far more diverse. And, you know, I think you can tell by just the sentiment from King's words, like, you know, I feel like I wasn't at the, you know, the peak that I used to be before, and I'm trying to get back to that state. I'm trying to be the person on top, you know?
Yeah.
And now, how Griffith gets there a little bit different, and I hope King takes a different route, but I'm sure he'll continue to grow. But with that, though, we're near the end of our day here, amigos. We see at the bottom how things fared out. Of course, on the LCS, they had a very fast day with a perfect game from Dignitas. So they were just zooming on by O2s across the board.
Game? Wow.
A perfect game, I know. But it's
pretty good.
With them zooming
Good
on
job.
by, though, they did leave us behind the dust a little bit. But that's okay, because we got banger after banger after banger, which I'm okay with. That third game was that second game we had was more than enough for a best of 3. Now, Smax, I'll give it to you. Give me one sentence, your thoughts for the day. Go. One sentence. Start.
Stop underrating amateur.
Cool. Amazing.
Period.
Rafa. Rafa.
Neela is cool.
All right, perfect. Indeed.
I think mine had more punch.
Yeah,
than yours.
yeah. I don't know how to follow up on that. Can I just double down on Smax's statement?
Sure, as you have been doing all day, but it's fine because aside from that, this is a schedule that we have it by the end. Considering AGT have moved on past 100 Thieves Academy, who've moved on to the lower bracket. Tomorrow, we'll continue to have more games, but with the games we had here today, some surprise results, but some I know were most definitely expected, but phenomenal games all around. And just like you said here, Smacks, people gotta stop underestimating Academy. Now, the schedule will continue on forward. Right here on the B stream, we'll have more games there as well, you know, considering what we got, because I believe we have 100 Thieves next, facing EGA. Taco Game is going to be playing tomorrow as well. So, more amateur on more Academy action. I hope you guys are ready for that, because I continue to be waited with bated breath for what potentially could happen. Because as of right now, as we've already seen, y'all got to stop sleeping on these teams. And we're going to see if King truly gets his kingdom back. With all that, though, what's up?
I got a sentence.
What's up?
Amateur can reach its apotheosis thanks to AoE Ginger Turmeric.
Nice. Beautiful stuff, and what a wonderful note to end out on for the second day of PG. Thank you, Smacks and Raw, for being by my side. I appreciate the producers in the back end and the other stream as well for broadcasting these games, and thank you all for watching as well. With all that being said, I have been ravishing, the most ravishing man on the planet. Y'all keep watching League of Legends. We'll see you back here tomorrow.